Episode 1. The First Choice. Morning sunlight slowly spread across Viridian City, waking the quiet streets. Inside a small house, a television broadcast echoed through the living room. On the screen stood Ash Ketchum, holding a golden trophy while thousands of fans cheered. Today marks a historic moment, the reporter announced. Ash Ketchum has officially been recognized as the strongest Pokémon trainer in the world. A true Pokémon master. Neith sat up and looked toward the TV through the open door. Ash stood there like a legend. Neith smirked slightly. One day, I'll be better than you. But deep down, he knew the truth. Right now, he was very far from that goal. Still, today was the first step. Because today, Neith turned 18. And in the world of Pokémon, that meant only one thing. Today, he would receive his first Pokémon. Later that morning, Neith arrived at the research laboratory on the edge of the city. And in the center of the room stood Professor Sarah. She was elegant, confident, and clearly someone who knew exactly what she was doing. When she saw Neith, she smiled. "Good morning, Neith. Right on time." Neith tried to stay focused, but he had to admit something to himself. He had always had one weakness: women, especially beautiful ones. And Professor Sarah was definitely that. For a brief moment, his mind wandered. Of course, she was older and married, which meant he realistically had no chance. Still, Neith couldn't help but imagine. Maybe one day, if he became a famous Pokémon trainer, things might be different. That thought alone made him even more determined to succeed. Sarah led him to a table in the center of the laboratory. 3 Pokéballs rested on the metal surface, shining under the sunlight. "These are the 3 Pokémon available to you," she said calmly. Above each Pokéball appeared a glowing projection: Nidoran, Horsey, and Growlithe. Neith studied them carefully. Neith smiled. "I choose Growlithe." Outside the laboratory, the wind moved gently through the grass. Neith held the Pokéball in his hand. His heart was racing. He pressed the button. A flash of red light appeared, and Growlithe stood on the grass in front of him. For a moment, the Pokémon simply stared at him. Neith slowly crouched down and extended his hand. Growlithe sniffed it carefully. Then its tail began to wag. Neith laughed softly. "I think we're going to get along just fine." Back inside the laboratory, Professor Sarah handed him a Pokédex and several Pokéballs. "Your journey begins today," she said. Soon after, Neith returned home to say goodbye. His parents wished him luck. His younger brother shouted excitedly, "Catch something legendary!" Finally, Neith stood at the edge of the city road. Growlithe walked beside him. The road stretched far into the distance. Forests, mountains, and unknown cities waited ahead. Neith took a deep breath. "Let's go, partner. One day, the whole world will know our names." And together, they began their journey.